Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another fireside chat with these fine gentlemen here from across North America. And how you guys doing?
Good, good. How you guys?
Doing well, man.
Not too bad. Just getting over another sick weekend, but my life's been very eventful lately. But with that being said, man, uh, the market's been really interesting. It looks like we're back in the $3,500, $3,600 range for Bitcoin. Market cap sitting at around 120 billion. Why don't we start off with like some technical analysis and just look at the Bitcoin charts because I'm sure people want to get an idea of where the price may be headed in the coming days and weeks. So Nabil, do you want to go ahead and share your charts and
Sure.
we can go from there?
Let's do it right now. Okay.
Dude, I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time. So
Yeah.
even though it was last week.
Everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Move this here. Oh, okay. So let's start with Bitcoin. I'm gonna use Bitstamp price. I always use Bitstamp price. Sorry, I gotta keep thing with. Let's start looking at the long-term view. Where is it freezing? Sorry, guys. Okay, so yeah, we're still in this long-term view, kind of like falling wedge here, defined by the black lines here. And for the longest time, you see it's been kind of respected here, especially since it's a downtrend. We have these lower highs and lower highs and lower high. We got a lot of consolidation around the 6,000, which might have led a lot of people to believe it's going back higher, and was definitely in my mind as well. Then we had this gigantic push downs. This happened like in 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken, and then we had the second week that just kept going further lower and lower. What's going on right now, if we take a look at something like a little closer, personally, I find the market very, very choppy, especially if we look at some of these candles that we call like the Bart Simpson patterns, like some consolidation, then boom, one big green candle, consolidation, boom, one big red candle, some consolidation, red, consolidation, big back up. So, I mean, to have like a short, medium-term perspective right now, it's kind of a little difficult. We're hanging around these moving averages as well. So, I mean, that doesn't help that much and doesn't paint a fine picture at the moment. Me personally, I stay a little away from Bitcoin at the moment. I don't trade it as much because of all this movement. I like to drop like maybe a few wedges to see if we have something. I don't know, not really. I'm trying to find some technical patterns, I guess. If we look at something a little like closer in the 1 hour, I mean, this is something I pointed out. Like, look at these volume candles here, 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 and a lot of people say that right now the market that's led by Bitcoin is like a trader's market. I mean, I like to joke around and say it's a whale's market because they just decide to have these 1 hour huge candles and then there's no much volume at any other time. It doesn't like, here we have a little bit of shifting to the downside and volume is slowly coming down, but like look at here, I mean, it just dies down here compared to this candle here, dies down. So volume doesn't show that. I mean, it's very organic at the moment. Let's say there's some heavy players that come in, move the market, then they just exit, some consolidation, move it again, consolidation, move it again. If I would have to draw something here, I mean, we kind of have like a little top here, I'd say. I like to maybe break out of this. I like to break out of this here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to give you guys bad patterns because this is very, very, very choppy, and it has been like for some time. Even here, I mean, it's super choppy. Personally, if I'd have to put my money where my mouth is, I'd say we'd have a little more upside, which would be maybe a liquidity hunt for me. So if you go a little higher and then we'd have some bigger shorts coming down from here. I don't think we're gonna break above 4,000 anymore. On the daily, we had we had a kind of inverse head and shoulder pattern, which I think Chris discussed the last week, kind of like a neckline right here, and we had shoulder, head here, and then another shoulder right here. And if you look at here, the right shoulder, the second shoulder was actually did not come and test the first one, which is a very bullish pattern for me. But then here it got kind of choppy. We did complete the pattern, but then we got rejected. And now, I mean, it's not a full rejection. It's just hanging around the same level as right here. That's why this adds to my bias saying the market's kind of choppy right now. It's indecisive. Where does it want to go? What does it want to do? Funny thing is, from here, when we broke, we rejected the neckline from this inverse head and shoulders. Same time, there was some news coming out saying that the Russians want to buy like $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. So I was joking with some people and said, well, they wouldn't just buy it here. They'd drop the market a little and then buy at a premium, without a premium, pardon me. So yeah, that's about it for Bitcoin. You guys have any questions and want to add anything, feel free.
Does that look to you like a bear flag on the?
I mean, yeah, it has this kind of. If we ignore this little fake out here, then this could be like a bear flag, and we could maybe complete a little higher here. I mean, 3,800, 3,750, 3,780, something like that, and then come back and just see some hanging around again. Maybe second push, come back here. But yeah, it could look like a bear flag if we disregard this little zone here. That might have been like kind of a fake out. If not, we could draw it from here and just see maybe because we have this little triangle pattern as well that's kind of playing out, and I've seen it from other traders that sent it to me too as well. So yeah, definitely. But I mean, at the end of the day, all these indicators, whether it's this pattern right here with the little fake out here or the triangle that we have here, they're all showing some more downside. I'd be extremely surprised since we the inverse head and shoulder didn't materialize. So I'd be extremely surprised that we go to 4,700. That was like my target when we were playing out the head and shoulders, but not anymore, man. I mean, if one thing could have pushed it there, it would have been like a huge breakout. I mean, a breakout from the neckline with some volume that would indicate that, yeah, we're rallying some more, you know. Some people were talking 5,000, 5,200, which was obviously possible at that time. But I mean, I didn't consider them as long as we didn't break 4,700. I wanted to see price react to 4,700. Then I would have my second bias. I mean, I like to build it brick by brick. So yeah, but now what just Chris mentioned is really great. It does look like a kind of like a ugly flag, but still, I mean, the pattern still shows bearish signs and some weakness. So yeah, I'm considering some downside now. And if we do have this little rally to the 50, I mean, let's look at the 4 hours one more time here. And I want to draw a little fib from where we rejected. Sorry, I gotta move this here and here. Where's my fib? Sorry, guys.
It's choppy though, man. It's so damn choppy.
Yeah. It's there it is.
Well, we're sitting on a green candle and volume's declining, so wouldn't that make it pretty bearish?
Yeah, volume. I mean, volume says everything in this market to me personally, and from this big candle here, you see that volume has been declining from all the way here. Price has been choppy. If price would keep increasing, like I said, going back to like this 38 fib, that would be like close to 37. I'm taking a short here. We have the confluence of the moving averages right here. We have the fib. And if you see that the volume is going lower, but if price would go back up here, we have divergence. So around this area, if we go back up, I'm taking a short. And I mean, I'm feeling super comfortable in this short. So this is not financial advice. I'm gonna put my money on there.
Right.
Yeah, just use proper risk management, guys. I mean, you could be a 50% trader, even 40%. Proper risk management will make you or break you in this game. Just don't go on YouTube and listen to everything and copy the trades. So,
Right.
yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Do you mind if we look at Ethereum?
Sure. So Ethereum, what is this here? Ethereum, yeah. So let's start with the weekly. Bitstamp, all right. Yeah, so pretty much same thing. I guess I could draw some kind of falling. I mean, yeah, not even from there. I mean, just here we could have this wedge or kind of channel, I guess, that would mimic the movement of Bitcoin because the market would follow it is here as well. Now, Ethereum might be a little interesting here because I would like to draw maybe kind of a little level around right here because of this little pattern here. Why? Because I mean, it could look bullish if we push back up right here, close to this line again. Is it going to happen if I look at the daily? This green candle might indicate some more upside, but then we're below the moving averages. So I don't know. I mean, if I'd have to take a bias, I'd go with my same bias as Bitcoin and probably fall down some further. There's one thing, this was mentioned in last week's Fire Chat, is Ethereum has corrected 94% from its all-time high to those lowest we had at 88% lately.
Yeah.
So I see Bitcoin possibly falling further, lower than 3,800. We might test those lows again and hold there. But if I'd have to make a guess, I'd say we could go to 2,500 maybe. If I want to be a little bit more bearish, but I have a hard time seeing Ethereum going below 88 just because of 94% correction. Again, I could be wrong. I'm going to follow it closely to see if it could materialize, but it's 94% is a big correction for Ethereum, man. And a lot of projects right now are talking about Ethereum. So yeah, this was kind of the rally. Because of we had the 94%, pardon me, drop. A lot of it had to do fundamentally because of the news about the hard fork coming.
Right.
And we might discuss this further a little later, but now they said that it might push it back. But right here at this consolidation zone, this was like kind of a make it or break it moment. We had like a little wedge pattern right here. And we could have had some more upside, maybe to like 170-ish at the lower, but it broke below the wedge and it broke this uptrend right here. So now we kind of sitting at we're close to that zone I mentioned earlier in the higher time frame. See what happens from here, but I'm gonna follow Bitcoin's movement again, and I'd have to like maybe. Sorry guys, I'm really kind of messy with all this stuff here, but if I draw a fib here from the low to the high, I don't know if my low is properly here. Yeah, I mean, my bias would be we break the 61, maybe go to 70 and test back the lows. If Bitcoin keeps falling, it'll drag this market, including Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is a little choppy here too, Bitcoin as well. So right now we want to see like some solid push either direction to give us a better bias and then follow that bias. But at the moment, if we have to take one, the bias is definitely bearish at the moment.
Got it.
It's weird because typically Bitcoin is the first mover and leads, but it looks like Ethereum is leading right now.
Well, lately, honestly, yeah, Bitcoin has always been leading the market. It's the gateway coin for crypto in general. But from where fiat can enter the market, Coinbase, Bitstamp, Itbit, and some other places as well. You have Ethereum, you have Litecoin, you have Ripple. So those have acted as gateways to the market I mean, it makes sense also because they're cheaper and they're faster. You want to just buy a coin, you want to buy like on Coinbase to send on Binance and diversify your portfolio. You would rather do it with Litecoin and Ethereum at this moment. But lately, I mean, Ripple and Ethereum have led the market, and recently even Litecoin at one point. But Litecoin was kind of like a kind of breakout it had. The inverse head and shoulder pattern actually played out on Litecoin. I think Chris mentioned it last week. So we had the breakout. It wasn't a huge breakout, and then Bitcoin kind of came and took over the market and dragged it back down. So definitely, I look at all these coins to kind of like lead the market or have like an indicator of where it's going. But yeah, whoever who is listening, I follow Bitcoin closely, but as well Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin too. I'm gonna give it a mention now. So keep your eyes on those two.
Cool. Cool. Thanks for sharing the charts.